Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? I'm coming at you live. This was a random inspiration live video. It was not planned, and it was born out of a conversation I had this morning. So, for those of you that have followed my stories and have seen what I share on my stories on Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I really do more business team organization work. So, what does that mean? That means that I am messaging members of the organization, checking in with them, seeing how they are doing. That means I'm going into the downline and seeing who's new, who's joined us, and introducing myself as one of the mentors for them. That means making sure that all the orders in my back office are being processed and nothing's being hung up for clients or for teammates. That means also talking to prospects around business. So it's meeting new prospects for business, for starting your own business and mentorship in business. And it also means responding to any of the people I'm currently talking to who want to join the business and want to get started. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are sort of my realm for that work. And so today I was talking to someone who wants to be a coach and wants to do the thing and has this really, really strong fear. And we started talking about the fear and sort of unpacking the fear, because a lot of you may not know this about me, but I, aside from being a Beachbody coach and being in the world of health for a long time, I've been a metaphysician for over a decade. So I have worked in the realm of body-mind healing as a massage therapist, as an energy healer, as a psychic interpreter, as I've done so much of that work that I deeply understand the psyche and the work that goes into the psyche when you are trying to level up in the world and do something big in the world, and how trauma affects the relationship to success. And in the conversation I was having with her, the more we talked, the more I realized, hey Pam, love you too. This is a conversation I've had many, many times before, because this is a conversation that in the 4.5 years that I have been actively building my Beachbody business and been sponsoring coaches and mentoring them, teaching them, holding space for them, it's sad to say how often this conversation that I'm going to bring up right now happens amongst women. I mean, it is insanely common to have this exact thing that I'm going to talk about come up. And it is a sad truth, and it is also a truth of our world. And it is something that if we as women want to embody success in business, we want to embody wealth, we want to embody access, if we want to grow as leaders, we have to address this elephant in the room and how it's keeping us from having success in those areas. So when you decide to start your business, I'm assuming the reason you decided to start your business was because you had this big dream to serve, to lead, to earn a generous income, to have access, to be free, to have time freedom, to pay off debt. I am assuming those are all the reasons why you wanted to start your business and why you decided to move forward with starting a business. And then what starts happening as you start going through the motions of building your business is you'll start to hit walls pretty fast. And it doesn't matter what kind of a business you are, brick and mortar business, network marketing business, direct sales business, service-based business, it doesn't matter. The moment you decide you want to have a business and you want to open yourself up to a different way of earning income and a more expansive way of earning income, you're going to start to hit walls pretty quick. Now, here's a wall that people miss. And this is why I say they miss it. Because you start to get frustrated when you're not seeing results. You start to get scared of showing up for the work. You won't message the prospects. You won't follow up with them. If they message you back, you avoid messaging them. You won't do the training. You won't ask for help. You'll start to do all these background sabotage things. And then you'll convince yourself that the reason that you're not seeing success in your business and the reason why it's not working is because the business is not for you. That's what you're going to tell yourself. You're going to tell yourself, this must not be the business for me because I'm hitting all these walls and I'm not seeing traction. I'm not seeing the success that I want. And so that has to be why. What you're not seeing is that you are not following through. You are not messaging to people. You are not following up. You are not being consistent. You don't see what you're not doing and start to ask yourself, why am I not doing that? The only thing you see is what's not happening, the result that's not happening. And so you're getting frustrated because you're like, there is no result that I want occurring, but you're not asking yourself the even deeper question of why is it that I'm not showing up fully, really, for this business that I say that I want. Okay? I'm going to tell you why you're not. When you experience something like sexual trauma or early childhood trauma, okay, inevitably, one of the primary messages that gets imprinted in our minds is that being recognized or being seen is dangerous. How many of you watching this live can relate to that? Because the reason you were abused, or the reason that you had the trauma, or the reason someone took advantage of you was because they saw you. They saw you, they picked you out of a crowd, or they picked you out of a situation, they picked you, and they preyed upon you. And you know that. And so forevermore, as an adult, you now live terrified of being seen by anyone. Because the message to the psyche is, if I stand out and I am seen, I will be preyed upon. Let me repeat that again. When you have early childhood sexual trauma or trauma of any kind, inevitably the message that gets put into your mind will be that not being seen, not standing out is safer than being seen. Because you will recognize that someone selected you to prey upon. Someone chose you to prey upon. Someone saw you, chose you, and preyed upon you. And as an adult moving into your life forevermore, the act of being seen will become truly terrifying to you. So you'll start to do things like hide in the background, not rock the boat, not make bold statements, not necessarily want to stand out. Does that sound familiar to anybody who's watching this right now? Because this is a story I hear time and time again. And sometimes it's not sexual abuse. So I have a teammate who almost got abducted when she was a little kid from a playground. And she remembers almost being abducted. She remembers then the person who was trying to abduct her stopping and talking to a police officer who was supposed to be someone who's going to help in that situation, and he seemed to be unaware of the distress that she was in. She got out of that situation, okay? She didn't get abducted and, went back to wherever she was. But the fact that she was chosen from a selected group of children in that environment and taken somewhere and almost abducted never left her psyche. That's terrifying for a little kid. Okay, that's really scary. Scary for anybody, especially for a little kid who doesn't understand. And so then as a grown woman, she is trying to build her business. She is trying to grow a following. She is trying to talk to prospects. She is trying to do all the things, and guess what's happening? Nothing is happening. It's not working. It's not working. Her business isn't growing. Nothing's happening. Why? When you have a business, one of the cornerstone tenets of having a business is being seen, okay? Whether it's a physical business or you have signage and you have marketing, or it's a digital business where you have your social media platform and your email platform and people are seeing you and they're hearing from you and they're watching you and they're connecting with you, being seen is cornerstone to having a successful business. People have to see you. They have to hear you. They have to feel you. They have to know who you are. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. If they're not seeing you, they can't learn to like you or trust you. You're going to have no business. Dead business. Okay? So what ends up happening is the very women who have the desire to have this business and to grow end up posting inconsistently, not really sharing authentic messages from the heart. They have a hard time being vulnerable. They have a hard time connecting with prospects. They're terrible at rejection, If someone says no, it destroys them. It's like an internal bomb that goes off. They won't even pursue what they want, even if their passion is great and the goal that they have is very strong. They will not do it. They will sabotage that because all of those activities require being seen. Talking to someone on the internet or in person requires being seen. Having to converse and connect with that person requires being seen. Of course, this transfers into intimacy and relationships in general as well, but I'm talking about business specifically. If you have this trauma and you are terrified of being seen, you will not have a successful business until that is cured. Until you don't feel like being seen equals being in harm's way. Okay? Because it affects everything. It affects the content that you're sharing. It affects the message that you're putting out there, the frequency that you're emanating, the space that you're in. And frankly, when the trauma is so high and it's not dealt with, when that shadow work still is calling you to be worked on, you can't even serve other people. You really can't run a business like that. You can't show up, move yourself out of the way, and hold space for another person. Because the whole time you're interacting with that person, the only thing you're going to be concerned about is, do I look dumb? Do I sound stupid? Is someone going to judge me? Am I going to be humiliated? You're going to be so overcome with those questions because of your trauma, because of that shadow work, because of the fear of being seen, that you won't actually be able to be there for the other person you're trying to help or you're trying to serve. Okay? Another way, so I'll give you the example of when I was a massage therapist. I was a massage therapist for 8 years. I worked in chronic injury and pain. I saw all kinds of releases on my tables, spiritual experiences, energetic experiences. It was a wild ride. I'm so blessed that I got to do that. But how do I know when a massage therapist, when I go to get a massage, how do I know that I'm being touched by someone that has touch trauma? It's so easy to tell. It's so easy to tell. I know instantly when someone puts their hands on me if they have shadow work around physical trauma, sexual trauma. Why? Because their touch is shallow. Their touch is shallow. They don't touch you. They touch you. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all had those massages before? Where it's just like very uncoordinated and they're not really like deep. They're just out here on the surface of who you are. They're not in your tissue. They're not moving slow. They're not listening. It's just like trying to rush through so they don't have to really pour in. Okay? That's how I know immediately. That person's lack of shadow work is preventing them from giving a great massage. That doesn't mean that person's not a good body worker. It means the person is afraid of something, being seen, touching too much contact. So that's a wall. And it's preventing them from being a great body worker. Someone who could really hold space for people. It's true of any business across the board. Any business that you have. If you have this early childhood trauma, this early sexual trauma that really pinches your ability to be seen and to feel safe being seen and to not feel like you're in harm's way, you will not grow. Okay? So, that being the case, what do you do with that? That's the work that you do next. If you're frustrated in your business, if you're stuck in your business, if you're being inconsistent, if you're not showing up, that's the work that you do next. There's so many ways to address that. Outside of traditional therapy, EMDR, EFT, emotion code. I mean, so many amazing tactics that you can use to heal the emotional body and get that out of the energetic system so it's not living in the energy body. So it's not continuing to rewire you in the direction of that. I will tell you, since I've been in the middle of this pandemic, one of the greatest gifts I've taken away has been really doing internal work. That's very hard to do when your life is still very external and you're still really caught up in tasks and going places. And I try not to go anywhere anymore, just because it's overwhelming for me. So since I've been home, I've really taken the time to dive into detoxing and the emotional pain body. The pain body is a real body and it carries so much suffering. And I will tell you, since I've been doing that, my business is incredible. Better than it ever was. And I didn't really think there was an issue. But now it's even better. Why? Because I'm removing the veil, the fears, any fears that were holding me back because of stuff that had happened to me in my life. You know, and that's the only thing that ever holds us back. So if you really are having a problem growing, I invite you to sit with your fear of being seen, of being recognized, of standing out, okay, of being like different than every voice around you, of people looking at you and seeing you and wanting to talk to you or wanting to follow you or commenting on your stuff. Like, really sit with that and do the work. It's worth it, I promise. I don't see any questions on my live feed. So either you guys are intently listening or you have no questions. I'm going to go with intently listening. So focused. All right. Well, that's what I really wanted to share. I hope that this lands well. I hope that this opens your eyes, and anybody who comes across this video, if you're watching the replay, please share #replay and let me know if this really sparked something in you and woke you up to a new reason why you might be stagnant in your business and why you might not be seeing the traction that you want to see or the action from yourself that you want to see. This is a big one. This is a really, really big one, and it's intangible. You know, it's not a simple like strategy or tactic. It's an intangible thing, and only you know the truth of it. Only you know how deep this goes. Only you know how much of this work there is to do, but I promise you it's worth doing. And even though it seems unrelated to your business and you can't tell how it's going to move it forward, I guarantee you it'll move you forward so quickly and like dramatically. Okay? So I love you all. Go out there and change the world with what you have to offer. Be that change. The world needs bright, brilliant women who have a passion for something and who are willing to put everything on the line to help other people be happier, healthier, love themselves more. The world needs that. Okay? I love you guys. Chat soon. Bye.